everybody, CW here. I want to do a quick unboxing. I believe I know what this is. Yep, I believe I know what this is. And I believe it's from Don Treesablowin. Let's see what we got here. He said he was going to send me some. Yep, looky there. Boy, the word got out that I like 357 SIG, and everybody's sending me brass. This is very cool. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Very nice. I will get it in the tumbler, get it cleaned, and put it to good use. Thank you very much, sir. Since I'm on the video here and we're talking, let's talk about a mold that I got from Ricky Baird. It's not mine, it's his, but he bought it brand new. It's a Lyman mold, and it's number 311008, and it's 115 grain 3220, classic 3220 bullet. And the mold itself is outside. I don't have it here, but it had all kinds of problems. Boy, I'm all chopped up, huh? Had all kinds of problems. It was finning. That's a term that's used when the lead gets into the air grooves and leaves little lines coming off your bullet. It's called finning. Or when your mold isn't completely closed and the lead gets between there, it makes like fins on the side of the bullet. It had a nose problem. It had the halves of the mold, when it came together, they would rock around, and you had odd-shaped oblong bullets. I'm going to throw some pictures in here. So that's what I'm talking about there. And the bases of the bullets in that picture, you can see that they're kind of flared. They're kind of, they got skirts on them. They got fins on them because the sprue plate doesn't fit good to the top of the mold blocks. So the mold blocks weren't square. The pins weren't correct. The holes were oblonged. The air gaps were bad. The blocks were not true and square. It was basically a basket case. And I didn't even see one of the biggest problems until I had spent, I don't know, a few hours tinkering around with the mold, back and forth, trying a few things, mounting it on handles, going to cast with it, still all fudged up, take it back apart again, look at a few more things, stone a little bit more, look at here, adjust this, adjust that, go out there, cast some more. It was a process, and it took me 4 times working on it and adjusting it, coming back and trying it. And then I changed handles halfway through because I wanted to make sure that wasn't an issue. And I went to my favorite handles, and for whatever reason, these brand new blocks, it's a 2-cavity, a big block mold handle. It wouldn't work. When you put them on, they wouldn't completely close. They were like 99.9% closed, but they wouldn't pinch up the front of the mold blocks. And it was creating the finning problem. I switched them over to Lee handles, and I totally removed one of the locator pins, and I made my own pin because the pin that was in the mold was riveted. That's a term that means if you were to think of a rivet going through a piece of steel, you push it through as a cylinder or as a sleeve or as a pin, and then you hit the end, but it doesn't drive it back out of the steel. It expands the tip, so it rivets. It gets larger to lock the rivet in. So it's a term called riveting, and it happened from adjusting those pins, but it shouldn't have because, well, number one, I adjust them with a brass hammer, which should be softer. It is softer than the steel pins. So the steel pins were probably not hardened, or they were very soft, and somehow the impacts from the hammer moving the pin to adjust it riveted the pin. So anyway, I made a new pin. Then it was really good. And I cast up almost 200 bullets. I should have left a couple without powder coat, just so you can see them really good. But this is also a new powder coat, and I do really like it. It's Eastwood Cadillac Blue, and it looks an awful lot like, and I've been looking for this for a long time, looks an awful lot like the old Nyclad Bullet Blue. Now, on my video screen here, it looks a little more purple. It looks a lot more purple than it really is. So the colors are a little bit off with what you're seeing. But when it's in my hand, it's a dark, deep blue with a lot of black in it. And it looks just like a Nyclad bullet from the 80s, Federal Nyclad. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's one of the first poly-coated bullets that was offered back in the day, before powder coating was a thing. And here's one of the bullets that are cast from that mold, this mold here. And we got it fixed. So it took a multiple of times. It took some patience. And I love doing this stuff. Ricky was all worried. He said, oh, you're spending so much time. You know, I should have just sent it back, yada, yada, yada. Well, we probably should have, but I got it. Like I said, I cast up this whole jug of bullets. There's like 180 in here. And I did it in no time flat. The mold drops really nice. The bullets drop out really nice. The biggest problem with the mold is it's got a little dent, and I'll throw some pictures in right here. Below the nose on one of the cavities, and there's nothing I can do about it. The material's gone. It's compressed. So it's always going to leave a little bit of flashing, a little bit of finning right there, but it's on the nose of the bullet. I didn't do anything with these. Nothing. I mean, nothing special about the noses. And we'll look at them here. You can see a little bit of a line from the mold halves. A little bit of line from the mold halves. A line from the mold halves. A line from the mold halves. Every one of them, same thing. No problems. And it either came off in the shake and bake, or it was so slight that it didn't matter. Now I got a bullet here. I want to show you the base, because the base of the bullet is getting a little bit of extra flashing on it because of the sprue plate doesn't fit perfectly to the top of the blocks. The top of the blocks are flat and true. The sprue plate was bent bad, cupped, and I can't get it dead flat. I can get it really, really, really flat, but not perfect to the blocks. So when I cup it slightly to fit to the blocks, it won't swing and work well. So I have to let it be flat and let a little more gap come out. And what that does is it leaves a little bit of flashing on the edges of some of these bullets. Now, for what these are and what I'm doing with them, I'm not worried about it. It comes off, as you can see here, in the sizing. So it's a good flat bullet, good flat base rather, and perfectly filled out bullet. So it's going to be fine. If this was going to be some kind of a precision, really, really high end, not a high end, really a long range bullet, high powered rifle type of thing, yeah, I would say it's not going to fly. But this, as a plain based bullet in the 3220, it's going to be just fine. It's going to work just fine. So there we go. I enjoy fixing up these molds. It's fun. It's a challenge. You don't know what you're going to find and how it's going to go, but I find it a lot of fun. So Ricky, I enjoyed it. Mold is out on the pot, and it's good to go. So next time we get together, you get your mold back and you can cast up a bunch of bullets for the 3220. All right, guys, I've got to get cleaned up, and we're going to have our chat tonight. Probably not going to get this posted until after the chat, so it'll probably be Saturday when you're watching this. God bless everybody. CW out.